Yet, on a quiet corner of Toronto Island stands a lonely stone tower, silent, old and cold. The Gibraltar Point Lighthouse has watched over Lake Ontario for more than 2 centuries. But behind its beauty lies a dark past. A murder buried beneath sand and time, a restless spirit, and a curse that refuses to fade. Tonight, we uncover the true story behind one of Canada's oldest and most haunted structures, the ghost of Gibraltar Point Lighthouse. The Gibraltar Point Lighthouse was built in 1808, during a time when the waters of Lake Ontario were treacherous and unpredictable. Ships needed guidance, and the city needed someone brave enough to guard the lake at night. That man was John Paul Rademüller, a German immigrant appointed as the first lighthouse keeper. Locals knew him as kind, hardworking, and always ready with a warm drink for travelers. But no one imagined that the man who guided ships to safety would one day disappear without a trace, except for blood in the snow and a story that would haunt Toronto Island forever. The night was brutally cold, January 2nd, 1815. Toronto Island was covered in deep snow, and the winds howled like dying wolves over the frozen lake. According to historical accounts, 3 intoxicated soldiers from Fort York visited the lighthouse. They wanted alcohol. Rademüller, who made his own homemade beer, refused to open the door. Angered and drunk, the soldiers forced their way in. What happened next is a blend of truth and legend, but the ending is always the same. Rademüller was beaten. Some say he was stabbed. Others claim he was pushed down the narrow spiral stairs. His body was never found, only bloodstains in the snow, leading toward the shoreline. The soldiers were arrested, but with no body, they were released. Rademüller simply vanished, and the lighthouse became a tomb without a corpse. Not long after the murder, strange events began. The replacement keeper complained about hearing heavy footsteps climbing the spiral staircase late at night. Footsteps that stopped right outside his door, even when he was completely alone. Visitors swore they heard whispers carried by the wind, like someone calling for help from inside the stone walls. And occasionally, a dim light flickered from the top of the lighthouse even after the lamp was officially extinguished. The islanders believed that Rademüller never left. His soul was trapped between the lake and the tower, still searching for justice, or his missing remains. In the late 1800s, workers repairing the lighthouse made a disturbing discovery. Beneath the sand, only meters from the lighthouse, they uncovered fragments of a human jawbone and a few bone shards. Local historians believed they belonged to Rademüller, but since forensic science was still primitive, the truth was never confirmed. What was confirmed, however, was this: after the bones were unearthed, hauntings intensified. Lighthouse keepers reported loud banging on the outside walls at night, footsteps pacing the top platform, and the sound of someone dragging something heavy across the floor. Some keepers quit after only a few days. Though the lighthouse has long been decommissioned, the haunting never stopped. Toronto Park staff tourists, and even paranormal investigators have reported eerie encounters. Many visitors hear slow, deliberate footsteps inside the tower. They echo up the spiral staircase and, sometimes toward, the entrance, though no one is there. During the 1970s, a group of teenagers exploring the island heard a blood-curdling scream coming from inside the lighthouse. Terrified, they ran to the beach, only to hear the sound again. Numerous people have seen a bluish-white light shining from the lantern room, even though the structure has no electricity. Some say it's Rademüller trying to fulfill his duty, still guiding lost travelers home. A dark silhouette is also often reported standing at the top balcony, watching the shoreline. When approached, the figure fades like smoke. Why does the spirit of John Paul Rademüller linger? Some paranormal researchers believe his soul remains restless because his body was never properly buried. Others think he cannot move on because his murderers went unpunished. And some believe the lighthouse was his life, his purpose. Even in death, he refuses to abandon it. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain. Gibraltar Point Lighthouse does not sleep. Today, the lighthouse stands quiet, surrounded by trees and soft waves. Yet those who dare to step near it after sunset say the silence hides something. Watching, listening, waiting. Perhaps it's just the wind. Perhaps it's just the old stones settling. Or perhaps it's the ghost of a man who never left the post he once vowed to protect. If you ever visit Toronto Island and you feel a sudden cold breeze or hear footsteps behind you, don't look back, because some stories, some spirits, are better left undisturbed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy true horror, paranormal mysteries, and dark historical stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And let me know in the comments, would you dare to enter the Gibraltar Point Lighthouse at night? Until the next story, stay safe and stay away from the shadows.